Hi guys, good morning. My name is Denise. I am a health freedom activist in California, and I have a blog on Facebook called The Informed Mama. I also have a YouTube video or a YouTube channel that I upload all my videos to, and I usually talk about vaccine education and I also talk about current laws in place and things that are going on in California that affect our children. I wanted to kind of touch down on what is happening in California with the sex ed curriculum. Good morning, Shelby. And kind of show you guys where you can find it, and you can send me an email at theinformedmama@gmail.com to get the documents. So let me just, I'm sorry, I'm still sick. Let me touch down on a couple of things. So AB 499 was passed by Governor Brown, I believe 2016. And what that bill allowed was, in California, we now have children who are the age of 12 and over are able to consent in school to contraceptives, such as abortions also, and vaccines in school. So even if you have a letter from mom saying, I don't consent to the flu shot or whatever, the Gardasil, it doesn't matter. That 12-year-old can make those decisions without you, without your knowledge, and you'll just get a bill for it. I've been told that the pedophile crap was not true. You know, this is the thing. If you have been doing this enough, you know that there's an agenda happening right now, and it's not going to be written out in black and white for you. It's not going to say, we're trying to take your children, or it's not going to say the LGBT community is being infiltrated. It's not going to tell you that. This is why it's important that you continue to be involved in your school. Call your child's school, find out what curriculum they're using, go in their library and find out what books they're using. I think it's incredibly important, especially for our parents who have children in public school, to be involved with the school. I will be making the meetings with my, with my school districts as well. So it's important that you know this information. Now, do we appreciate sex ed in school? The basics, right? I mean, I had the basics. It was how babies, and this was in high school. I'm older, but it was where babies come from, how to protect yourself against STDs, and your basic health class. That was sex education. It was the very basics to help children understand how babies are born, so that way you don't go and have a kid. What's happening now is they're no longer teaching sex ed, they're teaching sexual behavior. And then they're allowing 12-year-olds to make medical decisions for themselves without parental consent. This is grooming. This is, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist or anything, so I'm just going to leave that with you. But there's a curriculum that, it's the 2019 revision of the Health Education Framework. What this bill was AB 329. This bill was the framework to have sex ed in school. So the one that concerns me, I'm concerned about the middle school, and I have the information for you. So if you want the links, I can send them to you. Email me at theinformedmama@gmail.com. In middle school, they're teaching golden showers. They're teaching anal sex. They're teaching flavored condoms. This is sexual behavior. It's not sex ed. This is the issue. We have an overreach of our schools. We have a failing of our schools. Our school districts are adopting these practices without talking to parents. So I have the curriculum of kindergarten. Kindergarten is what concerns me. my son he's not in kindergarten, but he's in second grade, and these are levels that they're going to be teaching him. So let me start. So on chapter 3, on page 43 of this, students also learn about individual differences, including gender, from a very early age. Gender socialization begins when children start school. So this is a book called My Princess Boy. Do I care if people are gay? Obviously, I do not. I have been in the LGBT community for a very long time, since since I was little. And I can tell you that the subject of transitioning and the subject of changing your gender is not one to take lightly. As an adult, it really does play a huge role on your mental stability, on your emotional stability. My best friend, whom I love, has battled with this since he was a child. And he's 40, well, gonna be 40, and he still hasn't made any changes because it's a really huge deal. We see that now they're saying, let children be whatever gender they want, and then we can put them on these medications to change them. Well, it's a pharmaceutical drug that has never been tested on children. It's a pharmaceutical drug that changes the chemistry in your brain. With that, that's a lot of responsibility to take on. As an adult, couldn't even imagine as a child to start the process of medications and transitioning. This is what they're teaching in schools. They will be teaching kindergartners that there's 15 different genders, and they can be whatever gender they want. And there's a picture. Let me see if I can find it here. I have it on my, you're not gonna be able to see it, but it's a little target board, and it says, I have a body, and a body that makes adults guess I'm a girl. So they're talking about your parents are guessing that you're a girl. This is your identity is yours, and you can be whatever you want to be. Now, this is an overreach of the school. If your child feels as though this is something that they, that they feel that they need to transition, this is a private matter that gets taken care of at home. This is between parents and children and the home that they're in. This is not about the state running your household. This is an overreach. This is in California. I'm in California, so, this is not biology. It is not biology at all. Not kindergarten. You can do this in middle school. You can do, there's a difference between good touch, bad touch, body parts. My son is 5. He knows anatomy. He knows the proper words for things, but that's something that I taught him. And it's not the school's job to make these decisions. So, where is it? There's just a lot. You guys I'll send you the link if you want it. You just have to email me. But there's a part that, where is it? Grade 4, grade 5. Okay, so in grade 5 is when they really start digging into this gender thing. It is not the school's responsibility. Let me say that one more time. So instruction on sexual health content must affirm diverse sexual orientations and include samples of same-sex relationships when discussing relationships. Comprehensive sexual health instruction must also include gender, gender expression, gender identity, and harmful outcomes that may occur from negative gender stereotypes. While some teachers may prefer to separate male and female students during sexual health education, this is not recommended. Receiving puberty and sexual health education separately can foster anxiety and misinformation between males and females and allow for some students to be misgendered. So this is where we're at. I don't care who you sleep with as an adult. I don't care what you do in your personal life. That's your personal life. As a consenting adult, it doesn't matter. However, when you start teaching something like this, it opens the door for grooming. It really does. You know, I've been in this for quite some time, and I've seen the things that happen with children. We have a huge problem on our hands with our government. It's not just about sex ed. It's not about vaccines. It's not about any of that. What this is a government overreach. Did the schools ask you for permission before they set this up? Did the schools ask the parents, is this something that you want to teach your children? This is the problem here. There is not an opt-in. There's an opt-out. So parents, sometimes there's a lot of really busy parents who unfortunately can't go to their schools all the time and see what kind of curriculum they're having. They trust the schools to know that they're doing their job to teach them. This is not the school's responsibility to teach children about sexual orientation, to teach them about different genders, to teach them that they can be whatever gender they want to be in kindergarten. There is no mental capacity for children to grasp that. My 5-year-old, there's no way he's going to understand that. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, and it's really just grooming them to just go out and think that this is what people do. This is not what people do. So, you know, of course, yes, homeschool. Homeschool is the best. So what I would encourage you guys to look at is there's a page called Informed Parents of California. They're really on this. There's a rally on May 8th, and coincidentally, that's the same date to pull your children out to make a statement against SB 276. So pull your kids out of school. You do not need a reason to tell your school why your children are not going. They're taking a personal day. That's it. Take your kid, it's a day lesson in civics, and show them what you can do when you get together and you go and you say no to the government, you say no to these school districts, because it's an overreach. In Monterey, Planned Parenthood will be teaching these classes, and there will also be phone numbers on school badges of Planned Parenthood. What in the world would Planned Parenthood want to do with teaching children not about abstinence, but, you know, contraceptives? Go have sex, and then our company will help you in fixing the problem. Now, I don't really talk about my views too much. A lot, you know, I get really uncomfortable with that. No, they added them together. I have the flyer, I'll put it up. I saw it. It's a rally, so it's SB 276 sit out, and then the rally is on the same day. So you just might as well connect them together and then just make a day out of it. I am very pro-life. However, what you do with your body is your choice. I have no say-so over it. I do not care what you do. However, I do not feel that we should be paying for it. Planned Parenthood is a for-profit company, and they do donate to political figures, and that's illegal. So I don't care what you do with your body. There are other avenues to take as far as treatment, like, you know, if you need contraceptives, there's community medical centers that are now available to you. They go on a sliding scale. Some are free STD checkings. And Planned Parenthood in my city, and mostly in every other city that I've went to, does not do prenatal care. So it's an abortion clinic that's paid for by taxpayers. I might get a lot of shit for this, but I'm pro-life. Sorry. So now we're going to have an entity like Planned Parenthood going onto our school campuses and telling kids it's okay to have sex. It's okay to do this. You might get pregnant, but we're here to help you. We're here to make sure that you can make the better decision if you do get pregnant. This is not where the school should be. This is not where, you know, our states are. It's a complete overreach, And if you can't see that, you're not paying attention. We have to make sure that our children are protected. So we don't want our kids to go to school and the values that are at school don't fall in line with the values that are at my home. I don't want a contradiction, because what that does, that breaks up the family unit. This is all a plan to break up the family unit. They want, okay, well, mom thinks that, this is crazy. Mom thinks that I shouldn't be doing this, but the school is going to help me, and the school is completely okay. It's like the cool mom versus, the punk mom who doesn't want to let their kids do anything. This is what it is. It's grooming to break up the family unit. So I really hope that, it's great. If they want to start putting this in middle school, high school, great. There's a curriculum that you can opt into. Show it to the parents, let them know what's going on, and then if the parents want to opt in, cool. Or if the child is, older, 16, whatever, and they want to do it, cool, because some parents are uncomfortable talking to their children about sex. I get it. I'm talking about my kindergartner. I do not need the school to be involved in these kinds of decisions. So May 8th, it's a, sit in, sit out, however you want to call it, to pull your child out, to let the state know California is done with the tyranny that's happening. All of our, all of our movements are now joining together. Now we're starting to see other movements coming in and saying, wait a minute, we want freedom of choice. We want to make sure that our parental rights stay intact. There's age appropriate, exactly. There's a time and a place and an age to talk about these things. It is not up to the state to decide if a child is mentally ready to take that extra step. We know our children. We know what they're ready for. And no, it's not 12. My 12-year-old will not be able to make medical decisions. My child will be able to make those medical decisions when they pay their own damn insurance. I pay it. That's my child till the age of 18, and I make those choices. And if you don't like those choices, tough shit. So now we have SB 421, which is the Children's Cabinet. This was introduced by Senator Pan, of course, and it is a cabinet of people that he's appointed to oversee the care of children in California. So if your education that you want to give them, like homeschooling or unschooling or whatever you choose to do, if that's not up to par with the state, guess who you're getting a visit from? If the healthcare that you've chosen for your family, if it's not up to par with the board, guess who you're getting a visit from? He has SB 276, which is we all know it's the vaccine bill to restrict medical exemptions and to have the state decide what is best for your child instead of your doctor. And they don't know your children. The state does not know your children. The state does not love your children. The state does not care about your children. They are a cash cow. California has fallen. And it's up to us to stop the bickering amongst each other. If you're pro-life, come out. If you're pro-choice, come out. If you are anti-vaccine, come out. If you're pro-vaccine, come out. Because at the end of the day, all of it concerns you. All of it concerns you. If you're if you delay on your schedule, you don't get the HPV vaccine, you don't get the flu shot every year, those are going to get put on the schedule. We heard about that at the ACIP, which is the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices at the CDC, which I went to. We heard this was going on the schedule. So now we're going to have a whole bunch of very sick children and no parental rights intact because the state doesn't feel that you're taking care of your kids the way that they feel you're taking care of your kids or should take care of your kids. It is the Hunger Games, and my computer shut off. And it's time that we start getting involved. We need to protect our kids. We need to protect our parental rights because we're getting them stripped away one by one. We're having our religious freedom has been taken, our freedom of autonomy. We do not consent to having schools overreach. We do not consent to having the state overreach. Now, if you have not already seen Healthy People 2020, I would suggest that you go online and you look it up. You can find it on the CDC. Just go and DuckDuckGo or Google, whatever you choose to go on. And you look up Healthy People 2020. I'm just going to say this, Jeffrey. The LGBT community does not condone pedophilia. It has been infiltrated by those who want to pretend that the ones in the LGBT community condone pedophilia. None of the people that I know not Google, but whatever some people choose to do, whatever somebody chooses to do at home as a consenting adult is not my business. I don't care. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what you do. Just as it's not none of your business what I do in my personal life. But these are children, and we need to make sure that we protect our children and that we stop the agenda that's happening. There is an agenda. There's an agenda to vaccinate every single person on the planet. There's an agenda to have a one world religion. There's an agenda to have a one world government. It's called the New World Order. I know it sounds extremely conspiracy theorist, but it wouldn't help or it wouldn't hurt for you guys just to check it out. Check out the Georgia Guidestones. These are things that have been in place for a very long time. And the Healthy People 2020 is right around the corner. You will be seeing, I can guarantee you, you're going to be seeing tons of outbreaks amongst adults now. It's not just the kids anymore. You're going to be seeing it. You're going to see the cruise ships now. You're going to be seeing adult mandates because this is the agenda. We have 1 year to stop it. And I think we're doing a pretty good job. The reason we're seeing all these bills coming out is because we're having a lot of people who are starting to speak up. So please come out to the rally on 5/8, May 8th, next week, to oppose the SexEd curriculum and to sit out SB 276. Our children are cash cows in schools. They get paid for every chair that's filled, not from our tax dollars, but from the student being in school. That's why you get those truancy letters, because they want your kids in school. It's not about your kid missing 3 days. It's about your kids not bringing in the money. So we want to make sure that we get involved with our schools. We talk to our school boards. We let them know that this is not a bill that we appreciate. This is not a curriculum that we want for our children. And you want to opt out. Come out to the rally and get involved with your school. Get involved with the district and get in. Of course, I'm frozen. I talked about the New World Order. Anyways, I'm going to jump off only because the High Wire is going to come on in about 5 minutes. So I want you guys to watch that. I want you guys to see all of the propaganda that's being spread, all of the fear that's being spread, because we have 1 year to stop. And you know what? It's the Informed Parents of California has a flyer. I have it, so I'll send it to you. I'll post it so you guys can see it again. So I'll post the flyer so you guys can see the rally information. And now that I'm done, I'm going to ask you guys to switch over to the High Wire and listen to Dell and what's happening in the news of all of these fake outbreaks, because they are fake outbreaks. And I will see you guys in a little bit. I have to act professional today and go somewhere. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.